Put things away and thoughts away and draw your attention to the breath. Close your eyes if you're willing. Take a deep breath and be at ease. For a moment, I'd like you to picture your divine spark. Whatever it is that makes you unique, special, individual. Whatever represents your own individual consciousness. Regardless of what you believe about the ultimate reality. Set it aside and just notice your own light. The thing from which your own individual sense of humor arises. The thing from which your own desire to be of service, your own creativity, your own unique perspective, your own gift, your own love. Imagine all that emanating from some little quiet spot inside you. Affix that spot with light. Think of it as a light, a spark, a flame, something real, not just imaginary. It can be in your heart, it can be in your head, it can be above your head. It can be in the sound of your heartbeat or your breath. That spot through which everything good about you emanates outward into the world. That spot through which people notice you. That spot through which people want you when they need advice. Or that they want you to give them a hug that no one else can. Acknowledge that you, as an individual being walking this earth, have a strength and power and gift that no one else has. A gift that others need. A gift that you can be proud of. A light that shines no matter how dark it is. A peace you bring with you. Take one final breath and return. So most of us have heard the cautionary aphorism to be careful what you wish for. It means you might not like what you get, so think carefully. I kind of like this aphorism because it also carries this implication that what you wish for will come, so be careful. I know that Scripture says, ask and you shall receive, and there's all of this very trendy stuff about manifestation in the world, and the way that we think about things really matters. But there's a second layer to this piece of advice, and it has to do with manifestation. Our imagination is extremely important when it comes to the unfolding of our lives. Our thoughts do become reality. But we usually build walls around that idea to the extent that we think the word thoughts in that sentence to mean only our conscious thoughts. Our desire for the unicorn and a rainbow. Excluding every other multidimensional layer of thinking hidden subconsciously that is also emanating from us. Our minds and brains operate on many levels at once. Science is confident about that. But very few of them are we consciously aware of. We are transmitting and receiving many layers of information at once. Language and our line of conscious thinking are only two of them. So what else are we transmitting and receiving? That is still primarily unknown to science, but world spirituality has much to say on it. And there are plenty of traditions which discuss the things our higher minds are participating in, as well as expressing and receiving communication with the great central source. Every religious tradition has its own way of describing this channel of communication we have with God. Many do not use the word God at all, but are nonetheless speaking of the great epicenter, one way or another. Some traditions have angels or saints as the interceding conduit. Some think of it as a higher layer of our own individual mind. Yet other traditions consider the mountains or the trees as portals to the divine. Countless others consume sacred hallucinatory plants. Even those who do not believe in the existence of a deity invariably have a thought about how humanity is connected to one another. And science backs that up too. So it doesn't matter which one works for a particular person or culture. Each represents the belief that such a pathway exists and can be accessed. It's important to consider what your own pathway is. Your own individual connection. And if that divine spark we talked about in the meditation is a plug in a wall, what do you plug into it? And where do you think it goes? Sometimes we don't even consciously realize what we believe in. But when pressed, when the stakes are high and the fear is profound, those are the conduits we instinctively turn to for comfort. Like how they say there's no such thing as atheists in foxholes. So now, while perhaps you're not currently experiencing dire need, right now when you're at peace, hopefully, think about what conduit you might reflexively choose when that fearful moment arrives. If you're about to get into a car accident, does your mind go somewhere? Because that's what you believe in. Go with it. There is no wrong way. In my own reflexive way of thinking, my higher self exists in two parts, and both of them listen and speak as unison twins. I don't know where this idea comes from, but when I ask myself what I believe in, this is how it comes to me. I believe God's ear is directly amid them, and all three hear me at once. As well, all three communicate to me at once. I wouldn't say that I sit and listen to God talking to me and consciously hear it. That would be wonderful, but it's not my experience. But this is how I visualize it. I didn't consciously come up with this. And I'm certain that if we each of us dig a bit into the layer of our own thoughts that we have so frequently, we might not even realize that we think them, everyone's conduit will be a little bit different. To me, mine could possibly be drawn as two wings with a heart in the middle. Identifying your conduit is fairly important when it comes to the action of making wishes, or prayers, or manifestation. But also recognize that once identified, they will evolve. Do not carve them in stone. Rather, draw them in the ground, on the ground in sand. Allow them the freedom to evolve and become rewritten. Point A and point B will always remain the same. You and God, or whatever. But how you creatively express the conduit between need never remain a constant. This is part of the notion of being careful what you wish for, because unchanging permanency is never a wish that will be fulfilled. Also important is the recognition that our thinking and receiving of thought occurs on multiple levels. So dwell only on the most conscious and obvious levels, to only concentrate on the most conscious and obvious levels is a mistake. It limits your capacity to manifest what we need in our lives. When one is careful what they wish for, it doesn't mean an absence of specificity. If we wish for a red sports car, there's nothing wrong with the specificity we might select in our imagination of a particular make, model, and year. Being careful of our wishes means that we are not locked in to the make, model, and year, but rather accepting of the fact that many layers of our mind are doing the talking and listening. Many more options for the state of mind we wish to achieve with that sports car exist than we realize. Would we desire to exclude a potential outcome that's even better than what our imagination is capable of conceiving? For that is what is occurring along the layers of thought beyond our perception. These layers are dipping into the wider field and acknowledging all of the things which vibrate at the rate our imagination thrums when picturing make, model, year, and color of our dream car. We are attracting far more to ourselves than we imagine, fantasize, and pray for. Our state of being is what coalesces matter. Circumstances do not. Our state of being does. So, being careful what we wish for is not about what we wish for so much as it is about being careful not to exclude the possibility that our wish is much larger than we realize, and that our desires are communicated upon wavelengths of existence far more innumerable than we can acknowledge. I've often thought, and I've spoken about here, that if we as a society wished for world peace, prayed for world peace, that God's response would be, sure, but you have no idea what you're going to have to go through in order to get it. Don't discount what needs to happen in order for what you want to really be there. Like Leslie, when you came up and lit your candle about that which you wanted, and it wasn't exactly how you wanted, but in all likelihood, at least according to the way I think, that thing that you did end up getting is the step that you need in order to get the thing that you want. And to not discount what arrives, because it may very well be the only way that you can have what you want. Being careful what you wish for means accepting that first benefit and then believing that it's a stepping stone to what we want. Recognize your state of being when fantasizing about your dreams. Give yourself permission to be open to anything which might resemble that state of being, that state of mind. For abundance does not exclusively mean a pile of money. And health does not always mean feeling physically perfect. Inner peace does not mean we are problem-free. Nor will peace on earth be utterly devoid of conflict. There are multiple layers to these realities. Be open to all the possibilities your state of mind can achieve. And seek to cultivate a more preferable state of mind with every single breath. It will not only help to create the experience you dream of, but a better reality than perhaps you ever imagined. Please rise for our closing hymn, which is